I'm so metal.
Yeah, you are.
Alright, and I'm gonna do one without the... Dang it, I have to pick these up. Oh no! Help! Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to be talking about how I made Retsuko's tail. I'm not going to be covering how I made the ears just due to the fact how I went to YouTube to look up a lot of tutorials on how to make the ears, and I kind of mishmashed my own recipe. So I recommend going to just YouTube and Googling how to make ears. But I have patterns in the link below if you wanted to use my templates for this tutorial. So go ahead and take your template pieces and trace out your pattern. And you're gonna wanna do 2 cuts of these pieces because the seam is gonna be on the top and then the seam is gonna be on the bottom. So go ahead and trace those out. When you do this, make sure the fur is all going downwards and not upwards. And then take your scissors and cut really small cuts and cut out your pieces. You wanna be sure that you're not cutting the actual fur and you're just cutting the back material of it. Then go ahead and lay your pieces and label them. This is gonna really help when you are coloring and sewing it all together. Just kind of tell yourself, okay, I want these pieces this color and these pieces that color. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking acrylic paint and just a little bit of water and putting it on the fur and brushing it out each way. It really helps brushing it out because it really helps the paint soak into the fur and just make it really seamless and really even. And now the fun part. Well, not really. It took me forever to dry each piece. It took a really long time, but I promise the outcome is so worth it. So go ahead and take your hairdryer. It doesn't really matter what setting. I had it on like a low heat setting. I feel like if you had it on cool or really hot, it wouldn't matter. So go ahead and just brush it out until it is all dry. You can't really leave it damp. It needs to be 100% dry because if you don't, it's gonna look all clumpy. So make sure that all the pieces are completely dry and it looks fuzzy. And these are the results. So yeah, it looks very fuzzy. It looks semi-natural if orange fur was natural, I guess. But yeah, no, I really liked how the paint turned out on the fur. I'm actually really excited to use this kind of technique on other types of fur. It just takes a long time. So once you're done with those pieces, go ahead and flip them inside out. Before you do that, make sure you brush your fur so when you sew the pieces together, nothing is getting stuck. You don't want to ruin your sewing machine. I actually broke like 3 needles sewing all this together, and I actually had to stop and hand sew some because I broke so many needles. So try your best to keep all the fur on the inside and, you know, try not to ruin your sewing machine. It has treated you well, so make sure that you treat it well. Once you are done sewing your pieces, you're going to go ahead and flip it right side out and brush all the fur downwards. And yes, that is Trixie Mattel. I love Trixie. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and stuff our tail. You can honestly use anything. I just had this on hand. Just make sure that it's lightweight so you're not making your tail too heavy. Then we're gonna go ahead and hand stitch the tail. Don't worry about the seam, no one's gonna see it, and also the fur hides a lot of it. So don't be afraid that you're doing a really sloppy job, because I know I did. I suck at hand sewing, but no one will see it, and the seam pretty much is covered by the fur. For the belt, I added these two buckle things. It really helped putting it on and off. And then I took a scrap piece of fabric and I am gonna hand sew the tail. For the scrap piece of fabric, it's almost like a belt loop that goes through the belt. So you can move your tail however you want. So yeah, lots of hand sewing. My hands hurt. And that is it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know down in the comments what you would like to see next. So thanks!